How to practice your English speaking alone. Watch this video and learn 3 tips to help you practice your English speaking even if you are alone. Actually, especially if you are alone. If you don't know me very well, hi, how's it hanging? I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because there's always a different kind of English lesson to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So I appreciate it. Now, guys, speaking. I know you need to improve your English speaking, listening comprehension, but let's focus on English speaking. And first and foremost, writing and reading are not speaking exercises, okay? I get this question a lot, but Priscilla, I write a lot. I read aloud. Do they count as speaking exercises? No. They are excellent exercises, and I have many videos here on my channel where I talk about the power of writing and the power of reading. However, these exercises alone will not work directly on your English speaking. So that is important to understand. And also, guys, I know that to many of you, you could be thinking right now, but Priscilla, I don't have anyone to correct my English speaking. I don't have anyone to talk to. Can these exercises, can these suggestions work for me? And the answer is yes. Of course, it is wonderful to have a private teacher or to have a friend to practice your English speaking with. But for the purpose of this lesson, the exercises I am going to suggest, they do not require someone for you to practice with. You can do them on your own, okay? And in this video, I will even show you some possible ways so that you can get some kind of feedback, some kind of corrections. Not 100% accurate, but very efficient if you study alone and need to improve your English speaking. So what do you need? Speaking exercises. Exercises that will focus on working on your English speaking, on forcing your brain to put sentences together. And that's what I'm going to bring in today's lesson, okay? Now, that being said, the first tip I'm going to share with you is called 111. I created this name, excuse me, that's my creation, that's why it is not so awesome. But anyway, 1 word, 1 minute, 1 story. This is an exercise I do quite frequently with the students in my academy, okay? This exercise is designed to work on your English speaking. My first tip to help you practice your English speaking alone is to practice improvisation and imagination. Maybe you don't feel like you're very imaginative, very creative in your own language. That's okay, I understand. But if you think about it, when it comes to a second language, a lot of your speaking will have to be built on your imagination, quick thinking, and ability to improvise, because you will find yourself in situations when you don't know specific words, you don't know certain expressions, so you have to improvise with what you have. And that is something you need to develop. That's a skill, improvising, using your imagination to make the best with what you have. That is something you work on, you develop. And I created this exercise, and I do this exercise myself to practice my speaking alone. And I do this with my students in my academy because it'll help you with that. It'll help you use your imagination. It'll help you boost your creativity and your ability to improvise. How does this exercise work? Okay? I call it 111 because it's 1 word, 1 minute, 1 story. We're going to have 1 word. I will give you a word. You have 1 minute, and you have to create a story revolving around that word. Okay? That really has that word as the focal point. And guys, you have no idea how fun. This is actually a very fun speaking exercise you can do alone. And I don't recommend doing this exercise for a long time. It's 1 minute. no more than 2, okay? And I will talk about this later on in this English lesson. So here, let's say I have a few words and I will give you examples, okay? I have here the word magician, spectacular, outstanding, miraculous, fragile, doubt, toy, wedding, university. And it doesn't matter what the word is, okay? It really doesn't matter. But you pick a word and then you set a timer, and with that word, you have to create a story. But here's the catch. You're working on improvisation. You have to improvise. Teacher, does the story have to be real? It can be real and it can be created, okay? It can come out of your imagination. It doesn't really matter for the purpose of this exercise, okay? I always recommend connecting English with your life, but for the purpose of exercising your imagination, your creativity, and your art of improvisation, then you can create a story. And it has to be 1 minute, because in tip number 3, I will explain how to analyze your speaking practice by yourself. Because I know you are alone, you don't have a speaking partner, a friend, or maybe you don't have a teacher, or you're not in my academy. So how do you improve? How do you know you're getting better? That's what I will talk about in tip number 3. I create an example at the end of the lesson, but I will create another one, okay? Let's say I need to create a story with the word toy, and I will create it right now, okay? I didn't create anything with the word toy. So what would I do? I would set a timer to 1 minute, and then I would have to create a story. I need to improvise, but I need to use the word toy. When I was a child, you know, every time Christmas was coming, we were very excited about what we were going to get as a present, okay? We always wanted to get a new toy. And we patiently waited for this occasion, and we asked our parents, my siblings and I would talk to our parents about the Christmas surprise, you know? And I remember once, I don't remember which Christmas it was, but on the Christmas morning, I was so excited about my new toy. You know, I asked for a new toy and I was really looking forward to opening the box and seeing my new toy. And when I opened it, it was not a toy. It was a pair of sneakers. Oh, I was so disappointed. You know, who gives sneakers to children? I just wanted a toy. I'll never forget that really disappointing Christmas present. Time's up. What is the goal here? Is this story real? No. This happened to me when I was a child, but not on Christmas. It was a birthday present, and I was looking forward to getting a toy. And my aunt gave me a piece of fabric to make a new dress. And I was extremely disappointed. I couldn't hide the disappointment on my face. And even though I didn't get the toy, eventually that piece of fabric turned out to be the most beautiful dress I ever wore when I was a child. For real. Okay, now this is true. Okay? Now what is the idea here? To use your imagination. When I started describing this story, I wasn't really excited about using the word toy, but here, improvising imagination. And the other tips will help you with understanding what you need to do next. But this exercise is very powerful. You will have fun because you have no idea what is going to happen in your story. And guys, I cannot emphasize this enough, that improvising this technique, this exercise recommendation will force your brain to use what you have, will force your brain to put the ideas together, to think of stories. And while you're doing that in the English language. So that is a very powerful tool to help you unlock your English fluency, to help you improve your English speaking alone. Make sure you give this a try, okay? Use the words that I shared in the previous slide, you know, and create your story. You will see that the more you practice this, the more confident you will become speaking in English in different situations, okay? The next thing, short practices with strategic reviews. As I said before, I set the timer to 1 minute. These cannot be long, especially if you study English alone, okay? Because the next 2 tips will help you understand what you can do to understand, to figure out what you need to improve, what you can work on. Your speaking practice should be short, okay? So I'd recommend practicing your English speaking every time you sit down to study 5 to 10 minutes. So you study three times a week, you practice your English speaking 3 times a week, but 5 to 10 minutes. You're not going to be spending 1 hour doing this exercise, 2 hours, 30 minutes. No, it's exhausting. And if you're going to use these strategies right, you're going to do different activities, okay? So you need to have a short practice, 1 to 2 minutes for 10 minutes. So you do this exercise for 1 minute, then you do another kind of speaking exercise for another minute, then you try a different exercise. I even have an ebook where I share 20 speaking exercises you can do alone. So make sure to get it, okay? The link is in the description of this video. I know you're going to like it because it'll share ideas of practical speaking exercises you can do by yourself, okay? Additionally, I want you to remember these 4 words: speak, record, transcribe, correct. This is what you need if you want to study alone and improve your English speaking alone. You need to speak, you need to record yourself, you need to transcribe what you said, and you need to correct what you said. And what are you going to use? My 2 favorite tools, ChatGPT and Grammarly, okay? Now, are they perfect? No. Are they 100% accurate? No. Are they going to give you interesting feedback? Yes. Should you use them carefully? Absolutely, okay? Every time you practice your English speaking, let's say you follow this exercise recommendation. You will record yourself. Speak. You will record yourself speaking. That's why it has to be short. 1 minute, 1 minute and 20 seconds, no longer than that, maybe 2 minutes. Because the next step is transcribe. You can use online applications that transcribe speech. For example, the paid version of ChatGPT does that for you. You insert the audio file and it transcribes for you. These are very nice tools that you can find anywhere on the internet for free, basically. And you will get the text. This is not a reading exercise. This is a speaking exercise that later on you transcribe. And then what is the next step? You will copy paste, you will paste this transcript on Grammarly or ChatGPT, and you will try to find common mistakes, possible mistakes. You will analyze. You will also have to do some review yourself, okay? But Grammarly and ChatGPT, if you give the right commands, can give you interesting feedback on what you need to fix. Some common mistakes, confusing, sentence structure. They're very good at identifying these possible mistakes, okay? Why short? Because of that abbreviation that I shared. Speak, record, transcribe, correct. You have to analyze. That's the second strategy. Strategic reviews. You can't just blah, 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 blah. Okay, I practice my speaking. No, you need a little more, okay? Simply speaking is not enough. You need to gather some information on what you said so that you can improve, so that you can keep going. And a few points you need to consider when reviewing your answers are pronunciation of words. So it's important to listen to yourself and pay attention to the pronunciation of certain words. Can you understand? Is it clear? Is it not clear? Pay attention to that. Organization of ideas. Are your ideas all over the place? You need to practice organizing your ideas, okay? It's not just about speaking, but about organizing your thoughts and sharing a clear sequence of ideas, okay? Plural singular agreement, really common mistake. Students speak and they don't pay attention to plural and singular form of words and tenses. Pay attention to that. Repetition of words. If you repeat words too much, that's not a good sign, okay? And how do you know that? You listen to your recording and pay attention. How often did you repeat good? How often did you repeat very? How often did you repeat certain basic words? Do it again and reduce the repetition. This is a very good exercise. Use of advanced vocabulary. Did you use really basic vocabulary? Can you do it again and include another word, maybe a synonym that is a little bit more advanced? That's how you work on your English speaking alone. Okay, and these points in combination with Grammarly and ChatGPT, you will have a better idea of how to keep going with your English speaking practice. Okay, and before I continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, and if you're interested, my 20 speaking exercises ebook will be very helpful on your journey to fluency. There are many more exercises you can do alone, which are really fun and helpful on your journey to English fluency. But let's keep going. Use writing to help you prepare for your speaking. Now, I know that at the beginning of this video I said that writing is not a speaking exercise, but it is a good preparation. If you use it wisely. It can be really a daunting task to create a story, to improvise. I give you a word and you have to keep on talking and talking. This can be really scary to some people, and I can't imagine, teacher, I would never be able to do that. That's why you can use writing to give that stimulation your brain needs so you can work on your creativity. Guys, we are all creative people. We all have the ability to create. The only difference is that some people need to exercise their creativity more than others. Okay, I have things in my life that I have to work more than other people because that doesn't happen so natural to me. So if creativity doesn't happen naturally to you, then you need to exercise it a little, which can be done. Okay, you're going to combine writing and speaking. And in this practice, I love including advanced words, expressions, and even grammar that I am learning. So let's say I go back to exercise number 1, okay? And I want to practice creating a story, but first I want to do it in writing. I can do it. So I practice writing, no problems, and no limit of time you can practice. So I chose the word wedding, okay? And in addition to this word wedding, I want to use the phrasal verb wolf down and the adjective memorable. In addition to wedding, 3 words. So in my writing, I can practice doing that. I can use my imagination more calmly compared to when I'm speaking. So here's what I wrote. The last wedding party I attended was hilarious. By the end of the party, people were really drunk, but still full of beans. I will never forget my male colleagues from work wolfing down the candies while the girls hit the dance floor singing Para Bailar La Bamba like crazy. It was a memorable night for sure. Para bailar la bamba. Okay, so I use them. And what is my next step? Is this finished? Absolutely not. Here's your next step. Now I have to create under pressure, okay? Will I remember some information? Yes, I will remember some information. But my goal is to use the word wedding, wolf down, and memorable. I practiced by writing, now I have to practice by speaking. And if I were doing this exercise right now alone, I would record myself so that I can transcribe what I said and then take a look at the words I used, if I made mistakes, if I need to improve my pronunciation, if I repeated words. So here we go. Oh my God, the last wedding party I attended was so much fun. You know, I had a great time. And I remember that during the party, people were so drunk. I had some colleagues from work who were wolfing down all the candies like crazy. At the end of the party, actually, at the end, we could see some colleagues wolfing down all the food left. And the girls and I, we were hitting the dance floor, you know, we were dancing Para Bailar La Bamba, and we had a blast. It was definitely a memorable night, you know. It was so much fun. I have time. See, I finished. But I have 24 seconds. What would I do? I would keep going. And we took pictures, we kept on dancing. Later on, we, the girls, started looking for the candies, but unfortunately, they were all gone because the guys were starving and they ate up all the candies, which is okay. You know, at the end of the day, we didn't want to eat as much candy because we can't. See, and then the time's up. Why am I doing this real life to you guys, like real time? Because I want to show you that this is an exercise. Why am I good at this? Because I practice this like crazy. And the same recommendations that I'm sharing here are recommendations I follow by myself to study English and to study Italian and to teach my students in my academy to work on their fluency. These are things you can do to help you improve your English fluency. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Oops. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!